So it's still, yes, it's still March 22nd. It's a Tuesday. Someone in the YouTube channel sent a message saying, hey, do me a favor, can you go ahead and talk about a book that I see on your shelf all the time. That book is actually Maximum Entertainment. Now this book itself is maybe, I'd say 6 or 7 years old. It's not new. You're not going to learn magic tricks. You're not going to find out the latest and greatest secrets in here. What this is more of a book on improvement. Trying to define what it is that you do, trying to figure out how you do it, how to make it better, investigating different ways to measure your own progress, whether you're making progress, whether you're not, figuring out what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and how to eliminate the wrong things and add more right things. I've just started again. I have read this book a few times already, but I read so much I forget what's going on. Essentially, you know what, and based on the first, like, let's see, 20, 30 pages, how many pages specifically? 40 pages. Get the book, guys. Get the book. It's a fantastic book. You really don't know what you're missing. Oh, how does the phrase go? Jeez, a lot of people say, what's in the book for me? What's in it for me? It's not a question of what's in the book for you. It's a question of what might be there for you. If you can read, all 130, 140 pages of this, sorry, 220. If you can read all the pages of this book and only find 1 page or 2 pages useful, then in my eyes, that's something that's actually worth the money. If you can take the information, from a book like this and use it practically to improve, then you're already leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. And as I was reading the first couple of pages, I kind of realized this was the book that kind of made me want to stop performing or stop wanting to be a full-time performer. Not because I didn't have the desire or anything like that, because number one, well, no, I had the desire, but I just really didn't have the long-term desire. I felt that if my hobby became work, then like really, in-depth, full-time work, then I might not like my hobby anymore. First of all, he tries to define entertainment. There are many of us out there that think entertainment is making people laugh, etc., etc. It's more than that. It's about capturing someone's attention. It's about keeping their attention. It's about distracting them from what's going on in their life to something that is that you're doing, whether it's like a trick, a mystery, etc. The problem with entertainment is many of us set our goals low. We think that like if we entertain a few people, then we've done our job. Not many of us realize though that like we have to entertain everybody. Now it sounds like an ambiguous statement what I just said, but like a lot of us think, well, like if 3 out of 5 people like me, then I've done my job. Well, wouldn't it be better wouldn't it be better if 4 out of 5 people liked you, or 5 out of 5 people liked you? And this book in itself tries to be as blunt as possible without actually hurting anyone's feelings. Ken Weber, from what I understand, back in the 70s and 80s was a full-time mentalism performer, and eventually got out of that because of one of his hobbies, which was the world of finance. That intrigued him a little bit more. He was invited to do a lecture at the PEA conference, Psychic Entertainers Association, I think is what it is. And what his lecture was basically critiquing everyone he saw performing. And normally, performers, in my eyes, have very, very thin skin. Most of us can't accept criticism very well. They don't take it very well. A lot of us, take any form of criticism as a slap in the face, like, well, what the hell do you know? I know better than you. So a lot of people were kind of up in the, wondering, what was going to come of this. Apparently, Ken Weber was so good at delivering his critiques in his lecture that he was invited back like 6 or 7 more times to do the same thing, in consecutive years. So it's not like the man's speaking out his butt. He does know what he's talking about. He offers valuable tidbits, and like I said, I'm only 40 pages in, and I know for a fact, guys, everybody should at least own a copy of this book. This is one of the few books that extends not just to magicians, but to performers of all generations. Whether you're like mentalism, hypnotism, juggling, whatever. Like you owe it to yourself to try and improve yourself. So he's taken notes and stuff like that, and over the years he's compiled them into this book, and it's it's a very light read. It's not, you're not gonna like get a headache trying to wrap your mind around abstract concepts or anything like that. He gets in, gets out, tells you exactly what's on his mind in that specific section, and then moves on to the next topic. So as I read more about this, I will definitely continue to let you know more. But a quick note as to why I stopped performing. I kind of realized that there's with any art, with any job or anything, everything's in a pyramid. There's the guys at the bottom who are happy where they are, run-of-the-mill people, the workers, hobbyists, things like that, whether it's art, music, magic, etc. One step up are the guys who are the part-time professionals, and then right at the very top are like even your pyramid there are the guys who are making the big bucks. Magic is a small world, very small world, and most of you out there who are definitely trying to break into the business and you want to be a magician, this is what you want to do, I would highly recommend that you don't. If you want to make money doing magic, fine, by all means, get gigs, perform, get out there, get a name for yourself. But do yourself a favor, have a backup as well. And don't even think of it as a backup. Think of it as your first job. Magic is your second job. Keep your magic job fun. That way, you don't. The stress of trying to be a performer is taken off. And the fact is, very few people make it big. Very, very, very few people make it big in the industry. Those who are working professionals have worked for 10 to 15 years to get to where the point where they're making a really decent income, and they're still busting their asses day after day to get the next job, the next gig, their next paycheck. My hat's off to those guys. Those are the guys who work. Those are the guys who create the tips and techniques and the new effects. Those are the guys that give us the benefit of their knowledge, and I highly respect them for that. I myself didn't like not knowing where my next paycheck was coming from, and so I decided early on that magic will be a hobby. I'll take the occasional gig, and do my best to make sure that it's respectable. I'll work in restaurants a couple nights a week, have some fun, but I wasn't going to make performing my only source of income, because I realized early on that the amount of work that you would need to put in and the length of time that you would need to do it just didn't suit or fit what I hadn't planned for myself. So you guys need to think about your long-term goals and how your long-term goals fit into your short-term goals as well. So if you want to be the best performer ever, then you know what? You're going to need to eat. So get yourself a real job while you're working on becoming the best performer ever. That's the only piece of advice I can give to you guys. Still do magic, still have fun, enjoy it, learn, perform, do whatever you want with it, but don't fall into the trap of thinking that I'm going to make it big within a couple of years. It takes a long time. Many people only make it big in the 40s and 50s, after they've gotten all that experience. So I hate to throw bad news on you, and seriously, I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's somebody out there that can prove me wrong. But in a practical sense of things, experience doesn't come easy. It takes time. It takes a lot of mistakes. It takes a lot of trial and error. But those of us and those of you who are able to persevere, to work through that, to recognize all the errors and all the mistakes and all the good things and the bad things that have happened, and work that into something that makes you better, all my hats off to you guys. A lot of big name guys I know, they have part-time jobs. They have real jobs. For instance, some of the I guess the adult magicians, the big names anyways. There's there's lawyers, there's journalists, there's TV producers, there's writers, some guys work in advertising. I know a lot of guys who, a lot of the names on the books on my shelves back here, those books are written by guys who have other jobs. So it's a testament to say that you can still get yourself out there, get yourself known, be a big name, still have a regular 9-to-5 job that allows you the luxury of owning a house, owning a car, eating dinner, and still get out there and perform magic and have fun and do what it is that you love. You know, if your full-time job can support your passion, then by all means, let that happen. If it gets to a point where your passion can support your passion, then by all means, you know, go ahead and get there. But just realize that once fun becomes work, it might not be so much fun anymore. That's all I need to say. So if you guys have any questions or comments on that, just let me know. As I read more pages in Maximum Entertainment, I will definitely go ahead and to post those updates. But right now, I can tell you right now for a fact, you guys got to get this book. It's if I'm not mistaken, it's still available. H&R Magic Bookshop should have it. You probably might be able to find it online. Amazon might even have some used copies. You never know. So on that note, I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good night.